We're all living in a kind of chaotic universe. So for me to have a concrete task that I know is right, I'm going to try to help these children. And I feel like it's a gift. And the more people heap abuse on me, the bigger the gift is in some way. I didn't get into this controversy because I wanted to. I was dragged kicking and screaming into this controversy. I've stayed in it because I don't know anything that's more important. In 2005, I was representing a bunch of commercial fishermen on the Hudson River, suing coal-burning power plants and cement kilns for discharging mercury. We forced polluters to spend almost $5 billion on remediation of the Hudson. And today, the Hudson is now the richest waterway in the North Atlantic. I was also pushing legislation about mercury, and I was giving lectures all over the place.
The criminal discharges just from those plants kill 18,000 Americans every single year.
So these women start showing up at every lecture that I give. They were all the mothers of disabled children, and they believed that their children had been injured by the vaccines. The public health authorities were saying that these women were crazy. But they didn't look crazy to me. If a woman tells you something about her child you should listen. I recognized that there was this huge delta between what the public health agencies were telling us about vaccine safety and what the actual peer-reviewed published science was saying. Then I was like, okay, I gotta drop everything and do something about this. 43% of our children have a chronic disease. That is not normal. What is the toxin that touched every American demographic in 1989? I started calling high-level public officials. None of these people had read any of the science. They were just repeating things that they had been told about the science. And so my very narrow purpose in starting the Children's Health Defense was to address this problem and get vaccines properly safety tested. Because if they're not safety tested, nobody can tell you with any medical authority whether that vaccine is injuring more people than it's saving. One of the things that I want to announce to you today is that Children's Health Defense, my organization, is launching a journal, a daily journal, and we are going to weaponize information for you. We're going to tell you what the newest science is, and you can get that every day. And to say that there's a whole category of discussion that is critical to our children's health that we are not allowed to sue on, and now we are not allowed to talk about, is completely antithetical to any democratic value that I grew up with. The cauldron of debate is the only thing that allows governments to develop rational policies in which self-governance will actually work and triumph. We put freedom of speech in the First Amendment because all of the other rights that we were trying to protect relied on that right. I was removed for something they called malinformation. Malinformation is information that is true, but is inconvenient to the government. And the First Amendment was not written for easy speech. It was written for the speech that nobody likes you for. The book sold 1 million copies, I think, in 3 months, and with a lot of mainstream corporate media going out of its way to ignore it. But the government and the pharmaceutical companies have a method for turning off people's brains, and that device is fear. But 33% of the people will not obey. And you are the 33%. And the only thing between them and our children is this crowd that has come to Berlin. And we're telling them today, you are not going to take away our freedom. You are not going to poison our children. We are going to demand our democracy back. Thank you all very much for fighting. What we know is that we're not being dealt with honestly. We're being told, this is the science. It's an appeal to authority. We are not going to take it. We are building institutions to fight your institutions. And you have global institutions, and we now have a global institution.
Our job is to go out from here today and reach out to our brothers and sisters, the people who are still hypnotized, and tell them that we are going to fight for their freedom until they're able to fight for it themselves.
Let's go and fight for freedom, and let's build back for our children the America that our parents fought and died for. Thank you very much.
And I can tell you this, I will stand side by side with you, and that if I have to die for this, I'm going to die with my boots on.
I look at some of my friends that I've made over time who have children who are affected, and I see them going through that. And, anything that I go through is like nothing. I'm here for those parents.